Good. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Very good.
And again, thank you so much for coming. It's an exciting day. We're really thrilled to be here to celebrate, to formalize a partnership agreement with Silver Airways. We've had a nice relationship with Silver for a while now. And as a hometown airline and a hometown college, we were excited to be celebrating a hometown partnership. And we thank you for being here today. I would like to acknowledge a couple guests in the audience before I invite President Armstrong up. Sean Guerin is chair of the Broward College District Board of Trustees. Mr. Guerin, thank you for coming today. Pam Stephanie is also a trustee of the Broward College District Board of Trustees. Dr. Linda Havishell, College Provost, is joining us today. Dr. Havishell, thanks for being here. Dr. Sean Madison, who is president of our South Campus, where the Aviation Institute is located. Dr. Madison, thanks for coming. Speaking in the back door, Vice Chair of the Broward College District Board of Trustees, John Benz. So, Ben, thanks for coming. I want to really quickly just give you an idea of what it is that we're doing here today. You know, there is a pilot shortage which is hitting the industry. You may have heard about it, talked about in the media over the course of the last year and a half. It got a lot of press at the end of 2012. And there were plenty of naysayers who said, well, we talk about this all the time and it's really not happening. But there have been a lot of things that have changed in the industry. And I can guarantee you that the pilot shortage is here. I'm sure Mr. Flieger, the president and CEO of Silver Airways, is going to speak to that in a little bit in his remarks. But this is a great opportunity for us to form a partnership whereby our students will have easy access into the cockpit to fly for Silver Airways once they graduate from our program. We're really happy to have a couple of our students here today joining us. And it's those folks that we're here trying to help, and so we're really happy to be here today to formalize this agreement. I'd like to invite President Armstrong up to give a few comments as well. President Armstrong.
Thank you, Russ. Let me see what you're putting on the screen. My name is spelled correctly. How about that? Good. Thank you, Russ. This is a good day for Broward College and our aviation program and our pilot training program in particular, and not a new partner. In fact, a partnership that we've had for some time, but a strengthened partnership with Silver Airways. We are thrilled that Silver's new CEO, Dave Flieger, has arrived just in the last year here in Broward County and Fort Lauderdale in particular, and I wanted to meet Dave for a variety of reasons. It just so happens, coincidentally, for those of you who haven't heard this, that he bought my house from me. And he lives now just a few houses down from Chairman Guerin, just across the river over here. And so we wanted to meet with him, and I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity maybe for us to talk about our aviation program. So Mr. Guerin and I invited Dave to come out and to tour our Aviation Institute, and he brought his team out. We talked about opportunities for us to partnership more, and we all started talking a lot about the shortage in pilots that we're having, not just regionally, not just nationally, but worldwide. For those of you who read the Wall Street Journal, you may have seen an ongoing list of articles that I just refreshed my memory on this morning. While I'm flying sometimes, on some airlines that have now Wi-Fi, I'm sometimes reading the Wall Street Journal and I see these articles. So here's just a couple in the headlines just in the last couple of weeks. Airline pilot shortage arrives ahead of schedule. This one is dated just 2 weeks ago in the Wall Street Journal. This one's February 28th, just a week or so ago. U.S. regional pilot shortage called severe, and there are more and more. I remember one about a year ago when I was traveling in China, in the Wall Street Journal that talked about $100,000 signing bonuses that China Airlines are offering to pilots to move pilots from the U.S. who are experienced to come to China to go to work for their booming aviation industry. So aviation continues to grow here in the U.S., obviously, with more people flying, but worldwide, as developing countries grow, more and more international airlines continue to grow and offer more flights for people who want to travel for leisure and business as well. And so we have just a growing shortage of pilots worldwide. One study that recently came out, that is in one of these recent Wall Street Journal articles, the Government Accountability Office projects that we will need an additional somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 pilots annually for the next 20 years just to keep up with the growth in the United States. That doesn't include the international growth that is going on. So we have long had a very fine pilot training program and other aviation programs, but we need to do more, and we need to step up. We need to find ways to support our students, and partnerships with airlines, especially one that is right here in our backyard that I fly inside the state of Florida. I haven't been able to go over to the Bahamas or anywhere like that. I want to experience some of those flights sometime as well that Silver has. But I use them to go to Tallahassee and Orlando and Tampa inside the state. And so we want to help our local businesses grow and prosper, and this is one way that we can go about doing that. Combined with the increased need that we have in the number of pilots, the Federal Aviation Administration regulatory change recently requires pilots to have 1,500 hours of flight time before they can be hired by an airline. And this, the requirements for training, obviously, makes it very rigorous, and it takes a while for our students to go through these programs because they need that number of hours so that they're well prepared for safety and other things that we all want them to have. But there are ways that in partnership with airlines and the training programs that we do, that we might be able to get some help from the Federal Aviation Administration to allow us to get some reductions in some of the requirements that they have. And so Dean McCaffrey and his team have been working with the FAA, and I'm really pleased to announce today, as a matter of fact, that Broward College has received authority from the FAA to certify graduates from our pilot program as being eligible for hire with an airline, such as Silver Airways, with 1,250 hours of flight experience, which is 250 hours less than is otherwise required by most airline pilot training programs. That is a huge deal. That's 250 hours less that our students will have to log officially and pay for at probably one of the most expensive rates that we charge. I'm sure it is, Dr. Howdy Show, of any program that we have, because it is expensive to operate the planes and the fuel that supports it, etc. And so a reduction of 250 hours will be able to allow our students to more quickly go to work with an airline and to be able to begin their training with them and to log hours and to be able to be in the workplace. So that is a huge deal for us, and it would be a huge deal for us being able to train more prepared pilots to be able to get into the workplace faster and for less cost for them. This authority has been granted to us based on a thorough review of our aviation curriculum, and it's based in part on the rigorous standards to which we train our students. It'll more directly benefit the current and future students, of course. Obviously, FAA is concerned first and foremost about safety of passengers and planes and pilots and everyone else that they regulate. There's no way in the world they would have granted us this authority to reduce these number of hours if they hadn't looked at the entire curriculum that we have in the training program, and for them to be assured that we're building into our training programs quality instruction so that they are ready and prepared to be pilots. As a result of the agreement we're here to sign today, Silver Airways will give preferential consideration to graduates of our Professional Pilot Technology Associate Degree Program, giving our graduates a leg up on the competition that they have for these highly coveted flying jobs. So Dave and your team, we appreciate you looking at our curriculum. We appreciate you having the confidence that we're training pilots that would be prepared to go to work for you, and for giving them a leg up and an opportunity to move straight into a great career as a pilot. This agreement gives our aviation students a direct link to employment opportunities, and we're very excited to partner with such a strong local company that's right here in our backyard in Fort Lauderdale, that serves not only our community, but many communities across Florida and this region. And increasingly, they're expanding across the nation. So I don't know what the definition of a regional airline is, but you're starting to have a footprint that looks bigger certainly than the traditional Southeast or Florida regional airlines. We're very proud of you. We're proud of our partnership. We're proud of Silver Airways. And Dave, we welcome you to come up and make a few comments, and then we'll sign this agreement. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I will be brief and to the point, but President Armstrong, Chairman Guerin, members of the board, and then my colleagues from Silver Airways, and we've got a number of our executives here today. I'd like to thank you all for not only hosting us this morning, but also being such a great host as a city to Silver Airways. We thoroughly enjoy the partnership with the college, and as you mentioned, David, I mean the excellence that you and your colleagues stand for, and we look forward to enhancing that partnership even further. As you mentioned, there truly is a nationwide pilot shortage, and it's right at our doorstep and here today. It was precipitated by the change in rules this past year with the FAA, which really brought it all to a head a lot earlier than expected, and hence the headline there in the Wall Street Journal. But rather than sit idly and wait for things to happen or pilots to continue walking out the door for bigger opportunities, and we decided to do more and sit down with David and Dean McCaffrey and others and visit your college and see what it was all about, and look in our backyard to look for further opportunities to really enhance the opportunity for us as an airline and for you as an aviation college to look for those win-win solutions. And I think we've found it in spades here. The preferential hiring, interviewing and hiring that we're going to offer to your graduates is a great thing because they want an assured opportunity. They're going to invest in an aviation career. And we want great quality pilots, men and women both, to join us, and particularly down here in the Florida and Bahamas area, because why not? If you're already from here, why not stay here and make a career of it? So it's a great opportunity, I think, for all of us, and we're looking forward to really this being the first of many steps ahead. And thank you for again this opportunity today, and we look forward to signing the documents and doing a lot more in the future.
At this time, let's do it. I'd like to invite President Armstrong, Mr. Flieger, and I'd like to invite Chair Sean Guerin up to the table as well to sign the agreement. And Tim and Randall, our two students who are here, if you would like to come up and witness the agreement as well. I have two agreements, one for us and one for Silver, and so I think it's fairly self-explanatory. Okay.
Little you there. Little shamrock on it. There you go.
This will be your seal.
Get pens for the
That's right. Okay, congratulations.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Our vice chair of our board has arrived as well. Thank you.
David, I'll tell you a funny story. I was, before you bought the airline,
Okay.
I was flying out of Tallahassee on the previous airline.
Okay.
And you had a research study being done as to what would it take to get my business from flying from Tallahassee to Fort Lauderdale. And this young kid sat beside me, flight kid, okay, not too young, but he says, we're going to buy the airline you know, we don't know what to fly. This 19-seater with no bathroom doesn't work. I said, well, all it has to do is have a bathroom and leave at 5 o'clock, okay? And I said, you'll change the entire passenger route from Tallahassee. And you guys did it, so congratulations.
Absolutely. For those of you who may not have flown Silver recently, they upgraded their equipment from the previous name airline, and so wonderful Saab turbojets that move a lot faster and a lot more comfortable and a lot quieter and have bathrooms and have a, what do we officially call flight attendants, right?
Right.
A flight attendant on board as well.
That is politically correct.
Yes. Keep up with that. And Trustee Stephanie, you have long had an interest in aviation-related areas and have helped us with some of our donors in the past as well.
But is that the airport?
Oh, this is.
Yes, it is the airport.
Yeah, so
It's a little bit bigger than that.
Yes.
it's the Saab 340B plus, so it's a jet engines turning propellers. So they're turboprop, but they're flies about 200 miles an hour, goes up in the mid-20s for altitude. So I'm sure you guys would enjoy that kind of speed.
How many seats on it?
34 seats.
Perfect.
So 34 seats. And then, you know, and the interesting thing to me, I mean, having just come here from overseas, is I can't believe that Florida doesn't have a hometown airline. It's amazing to me that it's the 4th largest state in the union, and what, 900 billion in terms of GDP or GDP equivalent. So we're looking forward to growing and flying more cities with more flights and creating more jobs and hiring more pilots.
And your footprint has expanded outside of Florida and the Caribbean in the last couple of years too, right?
It has. We fly as far north as Cleveland, Ohio. We're in Washington, D.C. We're in Atlanta. And then down here, we're the largest intra-Florida and Florida-Bahamas carrier. So we fly to 7 destinations out in the Bahamas, essentially everywhere, all the outer islands. And then inside of Florida, we're in Pensacola, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, Gainesville, Key West, and obviously here. So looking forward to doing a lot more, which means bigger pipeline. You know, increase your student population.
We will. Russ, you want to introduce the students if they have
Sure.
a comment?
Yeah, Tim Bell is former Air Force, but has been with us for a few semesters now, finishing up his commercial certificate, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir. I actually came from Mississippi for this program alone. You know, I did some research and found out this was a great college, and I started last summer, and I've had no argument since. I got about 2 flights left for my commercial. I've already started CFI, so hopefully within the next month I'll be instructing. So
We'll look forward to that. And Randall is currently in our air traffic control program, which if you don't know, we also have an excellent air traffic control program, which is based at a Miramar Town Center. So he's joined us as well. So Randall, thanks for coming.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, we appreciate that.
Russ told me, Dean McCaffrey told me you're also thinking about potentially
Well,
trying to recruit you into the pilot.
They're trying. I'm not saying it's completely out of the question, but.
So we're always looking for new people in our pilot program, but of course we need people in our air traffic control program too. So.
You know what, if you sign up today, I'll shave 250 hours off of your
Special deal, just today.
hey, if you do it today, seriously, we might even get another 250 within the next month.
Russ, you have a few other of your people too you may want to introduce. You've got more programs that are in transportation and aviation related.
Yep, we've got, so just for full background, I've got from my program directly Evelyn Ruiz, who is our aviation recruiter. So anybody in the room who wants to be a pilot as a result of today's ceremony, talk to Evelyn. If you'd like to stay on the ground, Donnie Blaylock is our Associate Dean for Aviation Maintenance. As he so eloquently puts it, the pilots break it and he fixes it. And that's a good way to put it. And then also with us today is Dr. Humberto Flores, who is his official title is National Principal Investigator, but essentially he's running now our $24.5 million supply chain management grant that we recently won from the Department of Labor. And so he's a very busy man, but we're excited.
Formerly with DHL and a number of other large logistics
There will be
companies.
a number of large corporations with which we do business as a result of that grant. So we're really excited about that.
Great.
Any other comments, Mr. Fleeter? Mr. President?
No, let me join you. I'll just introduce my team. So
Sure,
we've got
please.
Travis Christ, who's our Chief Commercial Officer. We've got Amy Valsick, who's our Vice President of Marketing. And in front of her, we've got Rob McMahon, who's just joined us from American Airlines, our Head of IT, Vice President of IT. And then back in the left corner there is David Linskog, who's our Vice President of Flight Operations and our Director of Operations for the FAA. So, and then Misty Pinson, who's our Director of Corporate Commerce and PR. Right?
And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Misty's help and also Lise Martinez from the Broward College Foundation. They've been instrumental in helping to set this up, and as anybody who have done events like this knows, it takes a village, so we really appreciate their help as well.
Yes.
Good.
Well, thank you all very much. It's
Yes.
a great day.
Thanks.
And now it's back.
All right, gentlemen. There we go. There you go. All right, fellas, looking good right here. One. Very nice. 1, 2, 3. There, just like that. Very good. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Oops, sorry. Good.
That's why I I
Very good. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, and 3. Very good.